Volkswagen Audi Group EA825. So this is V8 with 563 horsepower, power-operated seats. They're heated, ventilated, and massaged with additional under-thigh support. Relax is just gorgeous, guys. It's super comfortable. So you can just relax and sit like this with massaging and ventilated seats here. Hi everyone and welcome to my channel Roman Rides, and today I'm sharing my review and test drive of the 2025 Audi S8. Let's get started. Alright, 2025 Audi S8. This is the latest model year for Audi S8. So what I like to say about this car, a few months ago, maybe within past like 11-12 months, I would say, I already tested BMW 760 and I tested Mercedes-Benz S580. Obviously 4MATIC all-wheel drive. So this is the closest rivals in this class. Obviously you can say, hey Roman, what about S63e Performance? And I can say definitely that's a more powerful rival in this class, obviously with hybrid technology and all that stuff. But I will be comparing with what I personally tested. I'm not talking about dry numbers, just stats on the paper. I'm talking about real driving experience and what you feel and how it feels driving these three cars. And so having them test driven already, I can definitely say that Audi S8, it has its own special place in my heart, to be honest. First of all, I'm an Audi owner as well, myself, and I'd like to say that I own a 2024 Audi S5, but I actually understand why people would buy this over BMW 760, for example, if we're talking about, high-performance V8 powered gas cars, and why would people buy this over Mercedes-Benz S580, for example. So let's start from the looks. It's very classic. It's very understated. Audi is not trying to scream, hey, look at me. Even though we are looking at the Audi S8, this is a high-performance car with a great pedigree behind this car. Just remember the movie Ronin. If I'm not mistaken, it's Ronin, 1997 and 1998. So the main actors, the main characters, they drove Audi S8 from 1994 or 3. If I'm not mistaken, tell me in the comment section. So Audi S8, some people may say it looks boring, maybe. It looks plain, but at the same time, I think this is the advantage of this car. It's not trying to be flashy. It's not trying to be, screaming like, look at me, I'm S8. So some people may confuse it with just a regular A8 because it's super subtle changes which actually make this car different and stand out from a regular Audi A8. And now we have S8. So from the looks perspective, definitely you will see the badge S8, which finally, not maybe finally, but thanks God they retained the badge S8. So the modern Audi vehicles, they actually separated the red rectangle here from S8. This model actually has it, like the way it has been on the market since like many years ago. Then you have 7-arm, 7-spoke, 21-inch alloy wheels. It's a square setup. It's 285, let me double check. It's Goodyear 285 by 35 21-inch alloy wheels with 6-piston calipers. It's Eagle Sport tires, 21-inch wheels. Obviously, it's 360 camera. We have soft closing door feature. We have 2 sunroofs for the rear passengers, for the front passengers, obviously, and it's super long. It's based on a long wheelbase A8, even though it's not advertised as S8 long. But basically they are all long if we're comparing with like the previous generation of Audi A8, because the Audi had A8 standard and then A8 long wheelbase. So this is based on the long wheelbase version, even though it's not officially advertised. So you see, I will add the exhaust sound probably right now, before we start talking about technical specs. right, after listening to the exhaust sound, take a look at the rear HD Matrix style taillights. So obviously everything is LED, and again we have the S8 classic badge, not separated, red rectangle from the S8, and we have the light bar connecting rear taillights, 21-inch alloy wheels. It's a black optics package, that's why the Audi rings in the back are blacked out, and then everything around the windows blacked out as well. And then you have completely blacked out grille, obviously LED style, not LED style, matrix style LED lights here. Everything is projector style LED with lenses inside. You have high beam, low beam, everything is LED, everything is projector style. You have cornering lights, you have headlights, washers, adaptive cruise, blacked out grille with black Audi rings. So this is a S8, and also blacked out mirror caps, obviously a heads-up display and everything like that. So I think even though with all these changes, still it looks super understated and super subtle, and until you hear actually the V8 turbo. So let's talk about technical specs. This is probably the most interesting part. Even though Audi offered A8 60 TFSI, still, this one is different. So let's take a look at the engine. What's powering this beast? All right, we can see here is so-called Volkswagen Audi Group EA825. So this is V8 with 90-degree banks, and it produces 563 horsepower or 571 PS, European horsepower. Obviously it's V8 twin turbocharged. It's mounted longitudinally, obviously, because it's longitudinal platform. So twin turbocharged, the peak boost is around 32 PSI, which is around 2.2 bars. And so it's aluminum block, it's chain driven, and it has obviously variable lifting and valve lifting technology and timing technology. So all that stuff is actually present here. And as you can see, because of the V8 nature of this car, you have two air filters, two air boxes, and you have some braces for additional stiffness and rigidness here. And it proudly says V8 TFSI badge. So let's close up the hood. So again, 590 pound-feet of torque and 563 horsepower. That's a lot. It's all paired with ZF 8-speed automatic transmission with obviously quattro all-wheel drive, with sport rear differential, with torque vectoring, as well as the rear turning wheel. So when you turn the steering wheel to the right, to the left, the rear wheels will steer to the opposite direction when on the parking lot, for example, on lower speeds. So again, in terms of the suspension, it's multi-link up front, it's double wishbone front suspension, and then it's multi-link in the back. It is air suspension, and it's also adaptive dampers. As I mentioned, sport differential, real quattro, mechanical quattro with central torsion lag differential, and that's pretty much it, guys. So let's see how it drives. Before we do that, let's jump into the cabin and see how you're welcomed in this Boeing 777. First of all, obviously it's soft closing door technology. We have contrasting stitching, we have suede inserts on the door cards, we have real carbon under lacquered carbon, you have memory positions, suede, you have Alcantara headliner, and then obviously power operated seats. They're heated, ventilated, and massaged with additional under thigh support here. Looks just amazing, guys. So let me turn the fan slightly down, so hopefully you can see what I can see. I'm testing my new camera. So, and some can say, hey, this is Audi and it looks exactly the same as Audi, like Q7, Q8, A6, and yes, you'll be right. In terms of that, it is like sharing the same design, the same cabin architecture. So probably you're right, and you may have questioned why paying so much if you can get like a nicely equipped Audi A7 or maybe S7 for like $95,000-$100,000 instead of paying like more than $100,000. I will show you the price in just a minute. The difference is actually the seats, the comfort, the sitting position, comfort of the sitting position, and attention to detail. I mean, yes, S7 or S7, they're quicker. They sometimes you can get them like used cheaper than this new one, for example. But again, we're talking about new cars, and it's all about attention to detail. A lot of piano black plastic, not the best thing, not the best implementation, obviously. But hey, you have to take care of your car, definitely. And it's Audi virtual cockpit. Audi pioneered these systems. Unfortunately, with the new generations of Audi, they actually ruined that. You could see that in my Audi S5 test drive video on my channel a few weeks ago, maybe months ago. Here we have the same classic, still like old school, I would say. Not the best, not the latest tech. I'm not sure if Audi is going to reveal the new A8 generation anytime soon, but as of now we have traditional 3-screen system. One screen is your digital gauge cluster, the second and third screen obviously it's climate control, and then the main infotainment system. Here you can operate your rear shades, your climate control, it's 4-zone climate control, heated ventilated seats, front heated ventilated massage seats in the back, massaging seats up front as well. You have your drive select, so you can switch between comfort, auto, dynamic and individual. You can individually configure air suspension, adaptive dampers, steering wheel, drivetrain, powertrain, and everything in between, as well as sport differential. Again, a lot of piano black plastic. You have motorized AC vents, so which means that you can actually manually navigate the airflow, but in terms of how fast they blow, this is operated by this module here. So, and I'm not sure, I remember that Audi had this, you know, these curtains which would close completely when stationary, when not in use, but I'm not sure. Maybe they dropped that for 2025. Guys, let me know in the comment section. Again, the seats, take a look. They have embossed S logo here, obviously perforated, ventilated, contrasting switching, quilted design. Under thigh support there, a lot of, again, piano black plastic here. This is your shifter, 8-speed automatic. You have also paddle shifters. And I would say, you know what? It's easy to set up everything the way you'd like. It has a lot of automatic functions, as you can see, auto, and you can also tie it to your memory positions like the mirrors and their configuration, steering wheel, it's obviously power operated as well, the seats and everything like that. So you just put it in auto and it does its job. You do not even care about that. And so the multimedia infotainment system is working quite nicely, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and all that stuff. So we can open up the central storage here. Obviously it's felt, it's lined with felt here, 2 USB Type-C additionally here. The seats actually themselves, take a look, they have these suede inserts on the side of the seat itself, very nice. And obviously you have adjustable head restraints. So now let's go to the rear passenger compartment. This is where you can be set if you don't want to drive your car, but obviously if you're buying an S8, probably you'd like to drive this car. So we have, all right, so let's see what we can do here. So this is the most comfortable position here. Oh yeah. So basically you lay down, relax. It's just gorgeous, guys. It's super comfortable. So you can just relax and sit like this with massaging and ventilated seats here, heated seats. You can adjust them like the cushion, the seat back, and everything in between, guys. It's 4-zone climate control. I mean, it's super nice, it's super cool. Suede headliner, ambient lighting all around, so as well as the same carbon fiber inserts here. It's like the first class airplane. So let me know in the notes in the comment section, guys, what do you think about this car? Mercedes-Benz looks a bit more flashy with more added ambient lighting. BMW looks a bit more modern, especially BMW seats, they're more comfortable, they're more cushy, I would say. They're cushier definitely than this one, but this one is very comfortable as well. So let me know in the comment section, what would you choose in terms of, you know, V8 powered super sedans in this class. So let's take a look how much actually this vehicle costs. And obviously you have additional sunshades and everything in between. The old doors obviously have electronic locks, so there are no like physical locks anymore. So sometimes it jams, so you have to take a look at that. You have to be prepared to pull the handle once one more time. So to the pricing, 2025 S7, 4-liter twin turbocharged biturbo V8 engine, 8-speed Tiptronic transmission with quattro all-wheel drive. It's sport adaptive air suspension, comfort sport rear differential, and packages. So on top of the base price, which is $125,300, we have executive package $4,800, luxury package $4,200, dynamic headliner, digital matrix design LED headlights, heated rear seat armrests, black optics package $2,100. And you see, so you can put the video on pause and you can check all the bells and whistles included. The final price $137,995, so almost 138 grand. The car is manufactured in Germany, obviously. Fuel economy 18 mpg, 15 city, 24 highway. So definitely it's more expensive than your regular A8, but at the same time, you've got V8 biturbo, 563 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque. You can say, hey, for me it's cheaper to buy like 2020, 2021 Audi A8 60 TFSI, and I can refresh the ECU and have the same power numbers. So what's the point? The point is that the configuration and the setup of air suspension, adaptive dampers, all-wheel steering, and everything else in between. Because even though the blocks, they're the same family, 825 so-called engine, still the configuration, settings, and the materials used in the S8 application versus like regular A8 with kind of the same block, but the internals are different. So let's take it for a drive and let's see how it drives. 2025 Audi S8. Let's go. We are in comfort mode right now, which means the air suspension level is set up for comfort riding. It's not the lowest level possible, and obviously our adaptive dampers in the comfort mode as well. Rear wheel steering helps navigate in the tight streets, tight parking spots, which is not the case here. Even though we're in a comfort mode right now, still you hear the burble of V8. So what I like about the S8, first of all, it feels like a sports car. It doesn't feel, you know, like a super cushy, like a coach on the road. It doesn't feel like that. Some strange sound is coming from the B-pillar, like a rattle or something. I'm sure that it can be easily fixed. It's not a problem, so I'm not going to focus on that too much. But what I'd like to say is that not recently, but for the past few months, I tested BMW 760 with V8 and then Mercedes-Benz S580, which the video I will be uploading soon. And I'd like to say that of those two, of these three cars, Audi, BMW 760, like all V8 cars specifically, I'd like to say that Audi probably is the stiffest one in terms of suspension. I'm not sure about tire pressure right now exactly, but regardless of that, the car feels on a stiffer side. I'm not saying that it's super stiff, it's super harsh, that it's, you know, you cannot tolerate that. I'm just saying like in comparison to those vehicles, because BMW, the new 7 Series generation 760 specifically I'm talking about, it's like a boat. It's super softly sprung suspension, same with Mercedes-Benz. And now Audi S8, it feels like more like, you know, like a smaller sports car. You have the feeling of, you know, a better connectedness feeling with the car, unlike BMW. So BMW is super fast and all of that, definitely air suspension, but still it tries hard to manage its weight while, you know, in the corners and stuff like that. While Audi S8 actually, it's like an athlete. So it's so graciously gliding over the road, but suspension itself, definitely it's on a stiffer side compared to BMW and Mercedes-Benz. Those are ultra soft barges, while this one is more like a sports car, as I mentioned. Aside from that, the rattle again, I'm saying that again, but the rattle is coming from the B-pillar, something that probably can be easily fixed with this specific car. Other than that, I don't have any complaints. I like the steering wheel, I like the input, even though we're in comfort mode right now, still, you feel, you know, it's super responsive in terms of all the inputs you have, like steering wheel, acceleration, and pedal, throttle response, and all of that. Obviously, it's got air suspension, so let's see how it manages the nosedive. Yeah, nosedive is almost non-existent here. Obviously, if I'm not talking about harsh braking. So very, very comfortable car, super fast. V8 Burble is here. It's the dying breed of cars like this. And hopefully Audi and Mercedes and BMW will continue building those. You can say like, hey Roman, what about Lucid Sapphire, like this electric super sedans? And definitely, I saw a few videos specifically from Savage Geese talking about Sapphire being an electric car, but retaining all the good stuff from legacy manufacturers. I mean, the approach kind of like legacy manufacturers, making sure that you have this connectedness feeling with the car itself, like driver's input, steering wheel and throttle, and calibration of the suspension and all of that. And yes, definitely, but it's still missing that V8 sound. It's still missing that, you know, that feeling of the very, very premium car. And in today's world, it's just a dying breed, as I mentioned. Like in this S8, it's not like S5, RS7. I mean, even though you have the engine from RS7, RS6, still, you know, it's not about being super fast and trying to set the record, right? It's not about showing the record numbers. It's about being fast enough. And unfortunately here in the US, it's really hard to, you know, to unleash these cars' full potential. So unfortunately we don't have autobahns and limited autobahns, so you have to bear with the speed limits, which are outrageously low, I would say. So let's do a quick acceleration here. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's love from first sight, definitely. What else do you need? Super, super nice interior. V8 Burble, crazy acceleration. I mean, it's more than enough. And very, very sexy look of this vehicle. Recap the summary of the 2025 Audi S8 after test driving this vehicle. What I'd like to say, first of all, it's one of my favorite cars in this class. Obviously, I tested BMW 760. I'd like to say that 760 V8 powered S68 is under the hood of the 760, the new generation 7 Series. Mercedes-Benz S580 V8 4-liter as well. Biturbo, twin turbocharged, producing around 500 horsepower, and then the S8. So I cannot directly compare S8 with those cars because we don't have actually a BMW M7, we don't have Mercedes-Benz, but we do have Mercedes-Benz actually S63 e-Performance, but that's more powerful. Obviously, it's much more expensive than this one. So looking at the S63 prices, we find that actually S8 being like the proper sport A8 model is closer to BMW 760, even though there is no like M7 gas-powered car. There are i7 cars, electric 7 Series, M60, M70, depending on how fast you want to go, depending on how powerful the electric motors in that car. But we're talking about classic gas-powered vehicle. This is the best luxury saloons that you can actually buy in 2025. And I'd like to say BMW, Mercedes-Benz, they're plusher in terms of riding comfort. This is on the stiffer side. Even when you're driving in a comfort mode, you will feel that there is a kind of harshness, but at the same time, there is just very, very nice connectedness feeling with the car. The steering input, throttle, air suspension, sport differential makes huge difference when turning to the left, to the right, in and out of the corners. And you know, the car tries to yaw itself and try to turn itself into the corner, helping a lot. So in terms of, you know, the driving and handling perspective of this car, I think it's much better than BMW and Mercedes-Benz. So this car is more for a driver, definitely. You remember BMW was initially for like a driver's car. Now I think Audi has become a real driver's car. And it shows, the vehicle itself, it shows that it's trying not to be that ultra luxury, you know, like ultimate luxury car, but it's trying to be more like for a driver with a lot of bits and pieces for and creature comforts for a driver when you're not trying to, you know, go there somewhere really fast. So it's a nice combination, but definitely it's on the stiffer side. So from this perspective, you have to think about it before buying that. From my perspective, it's just a timeless and very proportional, very elegant design. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what do you think about this car? I think it's just gorgeous. Just take a look at these proportions and everything else. It looks just nice. Long, classic silhouette, long overhangs in the back, slightly shorter up front, and then everything in between. Very nicely sounding V8. And the thrust of this engine is just immaculate. You can feel that, you know, even though you can drive it in the comfort mode, not even in dynamic, still you feel the power of V8. It cannot be hidden anyway, like behind these different driving modes, because you feel the nature of this V8. It's plenty quick, plenty powerful car. So guys, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this? Would you buy this over 760 V8 powered or over Mercedes-Benz S63 or maybe S580? Let me know. But there is a chasm between like S63 price and this S8. I think S8 is priced nicely. Starting price $125. That's a lot, definitely. You can say, are you crazy, Roman? It's not a bargain, definitely, but still, in comparison with the rivals, I think it's a nice price. And it's something classic. It's not trying to be flash. It's trying to be very understated. At the same time, it's super powerful and super agile, especially considering the dimensions of this vehicle. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and I see you next time.